Have you ever wondered how apps like Instagram, Netflix, or WhatsApp handle millions of users at once and still respond to each one of them in less than a second? That's what system design is all about. It's about designing systems that are fast, reliable, and scalable. Whether you're preparing for FAANG interviews or just curious about how big tech really works, understanding system design will completely change how you think as a developer. So in this video, we'll understand what exactly system design is and why companies care about it so much. Now let's understand what exactly is system design. Let us take an example. Imagine you're designing a city from scratch. Do you just start building roads and buildings without a plan? No, right? You first always create a blueprint where you decide where you're going to place the roads, where buildings will come up, how water and electricity flows, where will you place the traffic lights. But why do you come up with this blueprint? Because you want the city to function smoothly. So now system design is exactly the same idea, but instead of planning roads and buildings, here we plan the structure of a software system. In simple terms, system design is nothing but designing architecture of the software systems. You can consider roads as the data paths and buildings as the components, where the data paths are trying to connect different components. Now, if you have to understand system design in terms of software, we decide which components we want to use, where do we want to place different components, how to connect the components so that it functions smoothly, how data flows between the different components, what kind of data is stored, and where do you store the data, what is the schema in which the data is stored, how to keep everything working fast, and what to do when failures happen. So if you want to understand the formal definition of system design is the process of defining the architecture, components, and interfaces for a system so that it meets the end user requirements. So let us understand, the components. What is interfaces? Interfaces is nothing but the connecting paths between different components. So you know how you define components, interfaces, and the architecture to meet the end user requirements. Let us take the example of Instagram. What are the user requirements? Say you want to post a picture, you want to watch reels. So to meet those requirements, you're trying to define the architecture of the system. Now you might be wondering, why do companies give so much importance to system design in interviews? Because when your app grows, your code is no longer the bottleneck, your architecture is. Let's say you have built a small photo sharing app. You have only 100 users, so one database is fine, everything works well. But suddenly, let's say your app becomes famous and 10 million users start using your app. Everyone is trying to upload photos at once. Suddenly, the database which is designed for 100 users, it crashes. Maybe it stops responding, it slows down. So that is where system design becomes your superpower. It helps you build systems that can scale smoothly without breaking or crashing. See, when you build small projects, everything works fine because only a few users are using it. But when millions of people start using your app, the very same code can slow down, crash, or stop responding altogether. That's where system design becomes important. It's about making sure your app works efficiently even when it scales to a massive number of users. Now, why companies test this skill? Because it shows whether you can think beyond just writing code and can you design a system that's reliable, fast, and scalable in the real world. So basically, coding tests if you can solve the problem, and system design tests if you could build systems that can work for millions of users. So that's why even a great coder needs to understand system design. It's the difference between writing a program and actually building a system. Why should you learn system design as a developer? So apart from interviews, learning system design actually makes you a much better engineer. It helps you build systems that are scalable, meaning that can handle more users without breaking or crashing. It teaches you how to design applications that are reliable. That means even when things go wrong, say a server crashes, a network fails, or there's a sudden spike in the number of users, the system still continues to function correctly and your data remains safe. It also helps with efficient resource management. You will learn how to make your app faster, more responsive, and cost effective by using limited number of resources like servers and databases smartly, because you cannot keep adding more servers, as the cost of production will also go up. So you will learn how to use your resources efficiently. Coming to adaptability, it helps you build systems that can evolve with the changing needs of the users. And most importantly, it builds your architectural understanding. You will start to see how big systems are structured, whether it's a monolithic app or set of microservices working together. And you will know which approach to pick for different situations. Now, don't worry if you cannot understand what monolithic or microservices architecture is. We will talk about it in the upcoming videos. In short, system design gives you the mindset of a software architect and not just a coder. So that's it for today's video. I hope this helped you understand what system design actually means in the simplest way possible. Make sure to subscribe and follow along, because in the upcoming videos we'll break down every concept step by step, making system design super easy to learn and helping you confidently crack any big tech interviews.